Tell me a little more about the collection.
So while I was in Japan, I did 2 main series of paintings. The first series were images of older Japanese residential architecture paired with dirt mounds and very outsized, large-scaled medicinal herbs coming out of the mounds, kind of retaking the area around the buildings. And that was the basic idea of those paintings, nature, and specifically herbs with healing properties, which I just think is a very magical idea. We're growing 10 foot high or something compared to the buildings they were next to, and reclaiming land that was abandoned by humans but still had the traces of human artifact through their homes remaining there. But plants were retaking that. And then from there, I decided to go more toward the plant side. I've been interested in plants as medicine and herbal remedies for quite some time now. And I had a book in Japan I had brought with me to Japan of American herbal folk remedies. And so I looked at various remedies. Mostly I chose by their title. And what I could imagine the painting might look like because of the plants that were in it. So I made a series of paintings that were basically kind of portraits of various herbal remedies. Before I made the painting of each group of plants, I would stain the wooden support with watered down acrylic paints. Sometimes the older and the crustier the better, and then I would mix the paint and water to various viscosities, and then move that around and allow it to dry in its own time on the support. And as I was saying earlier, for me, that was kind of the most or the funnest part of it, because I didn't have a lot of ultimate control over what happened. I could only judge when to stop.
Right.
So,
yeah.
And then over the top of that, I would paint the plants depicted in each remedy in the same proportions that they were used in the remedy itself. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I painted the plants, you may have noticed that, I think you noticed the writing or what looks like tree rings in that other piece, the piece for the album, for bronchial cough in children. So what I would do with each painting then, after I did the staining, was I would write the directions on how to mix the various plants or herbs in order to create the remedy on the support itself. But I wrote it over and over and over and over again, kind of as a sort of visual mantra, and then I also wrote the various properties of each plant that was used in the remedy individually over and over and over and over again. And I did that for each piece. So that's what kind of looks like tree rings there in that piece, is that they're strung together, cursive letters, basically.
I almost feel like that each piece in that collection is like a healing, tangible healing piece within itself. Like it has the powers of the healing remedy within the art.
I was trying to invoke. That's why it was called Invocations. I was trying.
Oh, yeah.
And that idea was partially taken from, archaeologists and anthropologists believe that some of the early paintings made by potentially Neanderthal or early Homo sapiens of hunts, were supposed to be a sort of charm in order to ensure a better hunt. So there are these visual sort of talismans that created that energy or manifested that reality, of a good hunt or a good harvest.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's what these are supposed to be doing visually as well.
Oh.
So you got it.
I got it.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you. It feels good to be gotten.
Yeah. So this other art, which I'll take a picture of and kind of also have a moment of, that has the words in it in the background as well.
Yes.
Even just like underneath the plants.
It's all in there.
Wow.
Yeah, even underneath the plants.
Do you remember which remedy that one is for?
Yeah. That's.
You may have already.
It's a
told
blood
me.
pressure remedy.
Oh, okay.
It's called, I think, blood pressure, to lower. And I write all of the names of the plants on the back of each one.
Oh, wow.
So, blood sugar.
Blood sugar to lower.
Blood sugar to lower.
And there's all the ingredients.
Yeah. So this one was.
And that was
made
where you made.
2010. Yeah, Kawasaki, Japan.
Oh, this is so special. Well, I'm just thrilled that it all worked out and that you were happy about me wanting to use that art, and now it's gonna live on, and hopefully, it's going to be one of those album covers to me that if it were me, and it is going to be me because I am going to do it, I'm going to have it on my wall.
Yeah.
Because it's just so beautiful. So thank you.
Of course. Well, I feel honored that you asked me, and I love the title of the album, Infinity Sandwich.
I thought you might.
Yeah, infinity is something that I have often thought of, throughout my life, but then adding the word sandwich to the end of it adds like a sort of profound sense of absurdity. Yeah.
Well,
that is very like the universe.
The podcast that I had was called Zen Noodle Pie. You mentioned anxiety before. That was what my whole podcast was about.
Yeah.
Talking to people about their anxiety and their experience with it, how they cope with it, manage it, because I've got a long history with it.
Yeah, me too.
So I think people that are in tune, like we've talked about with the earth and everything and the energy and very highly sensitive people, you just can't help but have anxiety.
That's what makes us artists. Well, we have anxiety because I think partially I'm starting to learn that we have anxiety because also we know how things could be, and we look around us and we see people not behaving that way, and it's hard to deal with it,
So true.
You're like, guys, come on.
Yeah.
I was there too. I understand. I understand all that's happening with all of you, but I realize that it doesn't have to be that way. I was listening to, I've never really read or listened to Rumi before, and the Sufi mystic and poet, and I go to that monthly Ram Dass gathering, like I said, and as I do more reading and hear more things and just see more and more synchronicities lately, it just love really is the root of it all that we need to get back to, and it's all around you and it's available, and it's really just a shift in perspective.